In the previous video, we talked about how to find total surface area, which means covering all sides of a solid. Today, what we're going to talk about is lateral surface area. So what lateral surface area is covering only the lateral faces. And basically what this means is no bases. So here in this particular shape, remember to identify your base, especially with the pyramid. The tip of your pyramid points down to your base. So here is your base right here. I'm going to erase this so that you can see my lines. Your base is this triangle right here. So that means for lateral surface area, we don't want to cover that base right there. We're only wanting to cover the other triangles. So what we're going to do actually for this one, it's going to be a 2-in-1 kind of video today. We're actually going to show how to put this solid in its net form, and then we're going to find the lateral surface area. So here it is a triangular pyramid, because the point and your base is a triangle, so I'm going to do my triangle. Oops. I'm going to do my triangle. So here's my triangle. Here are all my lateral faces coming off of the triangle. And voila, it's not the prettiest, but remember we're not in art class, so it's okay. So here was my base that I am not going to cover. Right here, this says that this is 3 feet, so that means that all of these edges are also 3 feet. If they only give you one of those measurements, that means all of them are those measurements. Now the next thing you have to pay attention to is this height right here. So remember, and I'm going to erase this so that you can see right here, this is the perpendicular angle right here. So remember, for finding height of a triangle, it must be a perpendicular angle. So from point to top right here, this is 6.1 feet. So since it only gave us one, that means all of these are 6.1 feet. And that's how you construct a net. Oops. That's how you construct a net from a solid. So you just flatten it out. So what we're going to do here again, we are wanting to find lateral surface area, which is all of these lateral faces right here. So no bases. That's the big point of this. So I look at my formula as area equals 1/2 base times height. Area equals 1/2. I have 3 for my base and 6.1 for my height. So this one, there's no easy halving, so what I would just recommend doing, and I'm going to scooch up just a teeny bit, what I would recommend doing is just do 6.1 times 3, and then divide that by 2. So we have 3 and we have 18. There is 1 decimal place here, none here, so there will be 1 in my answer. So area equals 1/2 times 18.3. Remember, that just means we're going to divide by 2. You bring up your decimal, because remember, as long as there's no decimals on the outside, you're good. If there's decimals on the inside, you just bring them up. Alright, so I have right here that this is 9 minus, bring down your 3. 2 goes into 3 once. We have to create a 0 to bring it down. So I have 10 and goes into it 5 times. So your area for your lateral surface area, so I'm going to put LSA, is equal to 9.15 feet squared. So yet again, remember, it is feet squared because we're dealing with area. All right, we're going to do one more. So this was a pyramid, so the next example is going to be a prism. Now in this particular one, again, we're wanting to find our lateral surface area, so that means no bases. So please be careful with this. Remember, with prisms, it is 2 identical bases. So just because it's sitting on this rectangle right here does not mean that that's the base. You look for the shapes where there are 2 of them. There are 2 triangles right here, so these are our bases. So we do not want to cover those bases. We want to only cover the rectangles that make up the lateral faces. So I'm going to draw that out. It's really easy. You draw one big rectangle like this. You're going to do your triangles on the side. So this is 4.3 right here. The base is 3 centimeters, and the height right here is 4 centimeters. So that means that this triangle right here is going to be 4.3, and then the height that connects point to point is 6 centimeters, so that's going to be the same the whole way through, so 6 centimeters. And this last one is also 4.3 because this edge was 4.3 right here. Alright, I don't really care about these triangles at all, so I'm going to actually cross them out. I only want the rectangles right here. So you can number them if you want to. You can say this is rectangle number 1, rectangle number 2, rectangle number 3. Especially because they're different, you may want to label them. Alright, so we have rectangles number 1 and 2 are the same. So I'm going to solve for numbers 1 and 3 are the same. So I'm going to solve those together right here. Area equals base times height. Area equals 6 times 4.3. So 4.3 times 6, 18, 25, decimal here. Because there were 2 of them, remember this is only 1 so far, I'm going to have to multiply by 2. 6, 11, 5, bring down your decimal. And so that's for the 1. And then the area, oops, let me label this, I'm sorry. And then for number 2, area equals base times height. Area equals 6 times 3. Area equals 18 centimeters squared. So now the final thing is, don't forget to find your lateral surface area. You have to do 51.6 plus 18. So the lateral surface area of this triangular prism is 69.6 centimeters squared. So again, lateral surface area is finding only the lateral faces, no bases.